All right, guys, we're gonna install the OEM Polaris brush guard here onto the RZR. And first step is removing this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this bolt. Phillips head. Whoop, throw the screwdriver on the ground. So remove these Phillips head screws. Or actually, they are not screws, they're bolts, but go ahead and get these removed. And that's step one. I could be using a drill, but there's only 4 of these, and I'll have these out faster than I can go get a drill set up right now. So now, I'll be honest with you, I don't love this brush guard, and I'll show you why. It's probably good for sticks and twigs and just random things and looks, but it's not a real beefy, secure connection. So matter of fact, it connects to these bars here, and this side was actually bent. I had to put a wrench on it and bend it back out to the correct location previously anyway, and that's going to continue to happen. So the second you hit something, this is going to give, and it likely is also going to crack your plastic if you hit something. I would have rather seen, you know, something that rigidly mounts to this frame. That being said, I could modify this if I wanted to, and it's potential that I will in the future, but for now we're gonna go ahead and install it, show you the OEM install. So with this, you get these 4 bolts and associated washers. So go ahead and put your washers. Go ahead and put your washers on the bolts. And we're gonna start with these top ones. Go ahead and get them in place. Finger tight. Go ahead and get a couple threads started before you tighten them up. Okay. Whoa, that didn't work. Try again. Let's try this one. I know this is difficult to see, but what I'm trying to do is line up the bolt holes, and they're a little difficult to see kind of looking down. I couldn't imagine how fun this would be trying to do this on the ground. And I'm also trying to not strip the bolts. This one's going in good. Okay. This one is not going in well. I think it's stripped. It is. This one is stripping, but not a terrible amount, so I'm letting it run. What I should have done was taken a tap and chase that one in there. Now, next step, and what I'm doing here is I'm putting a flashlight back behind here so I can see the holes, basically. What I want to do is be able to see the holes so I know that I'm aligning screws properly. And again, guys, I know this is pretty difficult. That screw is lining up kind of okay. Let's see if I can get that in there. Yeah, and kind of, again, my problem with this is pretty simple. If you've hit anything at all in the front of this, these tabs are going to be bent and they're not going to align properly. So I'd say this is one of the first mods that you do before you screw anything up, or just know you're going to be kind of like me and trying to figure it out. Okay, let's go for this side. Now, see, this one's not terrible, because this thing it's in fairly good shape, hasn't really been hit too much. But the problem is the plastic is in the way of the hole that I'm trying to hit. And I'm not able to really maneuver it where it wants to stay. So I'm trying to do that with my pick here. Trying to move the plastic where I need it. And it ain't working very well. Alright guys, this install was a little more difficult than it probably should have been. Again, if you have any kind of damage on the front end, if any of these are bent, you're going to have to fix that, bending it back and forth to get it in the right spot. So I've got all these mounted and secured. I ended up having to actually run a thread chase through the threads on this one. Probably should have done it on all of them just to clean up the threads before I ran the bolts through, but that's you know what ended up happening. This is a M6 by 1.0 in case you're looking for a size, and I like the way it looks pretty good. I do want to mount a winch to this thing, so I'm thinking don't know where I'm gonna do it, maybe here. And so what'll end up happening is I'll cut kind of this plastic out up underneath here, probably along that line. And actually, no, there's no room there. May have to mount it a little higher, may have to cut this cross member off, weld the new one down here, because I think the only place to actually mount a winch is going to be, you know, around this area here. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with these, maybe relocate that bracket. Anyway, I've got another RZR I'll go take some photos of and some pictures of where a winch is mounted to it. We are selling that version, but either way,